Well, here we go again. Another Friday, another update. You know, so much is happening so fast that by the time I would update you, there's more stuff happening. I'm going to title this today, And Justice for All. And Justice for All. And let me explain a little bit why I'm doing that, because as we talk about this election and the importance of it, and not about just one person, Donald Trump, not about one party, that's for darn sure, and not just this one election, but going forward. You know, in our Constitution, in our pledge, and everything else we talk about, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. But sometimes these words jumped out at me yesterday. I think Lynn Wood said them in Georgia. And justice for all. You know, justice, like freedom, as far as I'm concerned, if we all don't have it, none of us have it. If it's not justice for all, then it's not really justice. We're all equal under the law. We were created equal by our Creator, endowed with certain rights that we're not going to get into right now. But we have to have justice for all. And in regard to the election, that means that my vote counts. Your vote counts. Every legal citizen vote should count. Every legal vote should count. Every illegal vote should not count. Now, every illegal vote crosses off a legal vote. So every time they added illegal, and they did it intentionally, incontrovertible evidence, we'll get into some of that in a minute. Every time they do that, they're taking away the rights and the justice for other people. So we need to have justice for all. And you know, talking about this insane election, I mean, I have watched every hearing, and I provided every hearing in all the states in their entirety at my group on Facebook. Our Constitution is the solution. And I sure do believe that, you know that. All of the affidavits available, sworn affidavits under the penalty of perjury, Sidney Powell's fine, all of the court filings, you can find all of that there in my group. Our Constitution is the solution. So after watching all of this, reading all of this, hearing all of this, I am even more excited, and it's a tsunami of truth. And I'm the truth bomber. Let's go from the West Coast closer to home and talk about the states. And before I get into too much, you know, pray for California. They're not yet in the election debacle, you know, but they got a governor out there who's telling people that they can't go to church or synagogue or anything. He's taken away their basic, fundamental constitutional rights. We have the right to worship anybody or anything in any way, anywhere, and any time. And no government has a right to restrict that. And they're still fighting that with that crazy governor out there, locking people down. Last I heard, the strip clubs were open. I know the casinos are open, but the churches are closed. So pray for California. Pray for their awakening, because I have a lot of friends out there, and believe me, they are awakening. And we need California to go red, to go freedom, Forget the colors. Freedom. Let's talk about Nevada. In Nevada, they produced 28 binders full of evidence, sworn affidavits. That was brought into the court. There was video evidence brought into the court. There were tabulations proven to the court. They had dead people voted. They had over 4,000 non-citizens that voted. They had like 12,000 votes. They had no idea where they came from or who they were. All of this is in evidence. All of this has been put in front of a judge. It is insane what they tried to do, thinking they would get away with it. But then again, they had no other shot. They were going to lose anyway. So they might as well try and steal it, which they did, and they got caught. Simple as that. So I'm very confident that Nevada, and it is Nevada, not Nevada. I lived in Reno, Nevada. I still have friends and family there. I miss it. I greatly enjoyed my time there. So Nevada will be flipping. It's only 6 electoral votes, but it's a win. And more than anything, it's the exposure of the crooked system. And we need to become system breakers. We need to break this system because it's bad on both sides. And we're seeing that. We're seeing the corruption, the power elite in both parties. They are the establishment, and it's time that we break the establishment. And that's what this is doing, bringing all this truth out. It's exposing Republicans as well as Democrats. Now let's move on to Arizona. And again, within the last hour and a half, 2 hours, the state legislature, the chairwoman in the Senate and chairman in the House in Arizona, they have now filed papers and they are demanding, and they will get it, a recount and a complete audit in Maricopa County. That's Phoenix. That's where most of the shenanigans were going on, the big cities. That's well enough to flip Arizona. Again, that's a pretty big deal. And the best thing, what was really good about that is, as in some other states now, but who stood up and took their authority? The state legislature. Keep this in mind. Article 2, Section 1, Clause 2 in the United States Constitution gives the complete authority for federal elections and naming the electors solely to the state legislature. No one else. So when you read or hear any of this hogwash about a governor certified it or a secretary of state certified it, they don't matter. Nobody cares what they did. And I think some of these state legislatures, especially in Michigan, didn't realize that they're the ones that have that power. That's why we're going to end up in the Supreme Court over that issue. So Arizona is going wonderfully, and that'll probably flip. The evidence is there. Eventually, if any of these go to the Supreme Court, we win on the constitutional issue. We win hands down. We now have a conservative, strict constitutionalist court. I don't know what Roberts might do, but I don't care. Now let's move to Wisconsin. I still say that Wisconsin is going to be the first state to flip to Trump. And the reason I say that is the Wisconsin legislature, state legislature, in their wisdom, passed a law that states that for someone to execute a mail-in ballot, for that ballot to be valid and counted, legal, that they must first request a mail-in ballot. So they request a mail-in ballot, there's a record of it, then they send them the mail-in ballot, and then they mail it in a vote. And they have to match up their request with the ballot. Well, there's pretty close to 200,000 that did not. And the Trump legal team is challenging, saying those votes should be thrown out. And they should. And if they get thrown out, Trump easily wins Wisconsin. And there's 3 or 4 other issues, just on that issue alone. So the Wisconsin state legislature, they're going to stick to their guns. They know they have the authority. They took the authority and made the rule. So I still think Wisconsin may flip first. Now you got the shenanigans in Michigan. Oh, Maron. If I watched the entire hearing, well, I watched them all, first to the Michigan Senate Select Committee, what a bunch of wimps. Literally. A bunch of wimps. They call themselves Republicans, but the vice chairman of the meeting had to get up after a couple hours and had to leave to go to another meeting. What the hell's more important than the Constitution? What's more important than saving the Republic? Please. But I saw the evidence. Again, it's irrefutable. The witnesses, they were bullied. They were locked out. They were tricked out. They saw the one witness, literally saw them reloading votes 8, 10 times, stacks. They got the goods on them. They got the goods. I don't know what's going to happen in Michigan. I'm going because I don't think the legislators, the state legislators in Michigan have got the balls to do anything about it. So I'm iffy on Michigan. But again, if we get it to the Supreme Court, we'll win. But a lot of that is going to have to start with the Michigan legislature. So we'll see. I know that we put amazing proof. These witnesses, and again, they've got copies of thumb drives. They've got the sworn affidavits. They have eyewitness testimony of the cheating. But whether or not they got the cojones to do anything about it in my home state, Michigan, I don't know. I really don't. Now let's go to Pennsylvania. Well, what it's come down to in Pennsylvania with all of the evidence and the hearings are that they're requesting a special session. The mostly Republican legislature is calling for a special session so that they can consider what they're going to do after they got all of that evidence. Now remember, you have colonels, ex-colonels, you have military intelligence people showing them how Dominion did it, how they stole votes, how they switched votes. This is rock solid testimony from rock solid individuals, people that have served our country admirably. But Pennsylvania, I think they're going to do the right thing. I think whether they do or not, I think that under the 14th Amendment, which is equal protection under the law, which means I have to be equally protected as you, I believe it's clear that the Constitution was violated there in Pennsylvania because all votes weren't the same, weren't treated the same in different precincts in different cities and counties and the like. I believe that we have a rock solid case in the Supreme Court. Alito has already said he'll hear it. So that'll probably be a 14th Amendment issue, equal protection under the law, but we will win in the Supreme Court in Pennsylvania. We will win. Mark it down. Now we go to Georgia. Oh, boy, what a circus. Again, if you haven't seen the videos of these hearings, they're lengthy and they will piss you off. But boy, when you see all that truth, it'll make you smile on how right we were and we are. It will make you smile that Donald J. Trump will continue as the President of the United States. Simple as that. In Georgia, they show, what they didn't realize is there were cameras. That's how stupid these people are. They didn't realize there were cameras. So when they ran the people out of the rooms, the counting rooms, the Republican counters, told them they were going to stop counting. Once they were gone, they went under one table and they were pulling out cases filled with ballots. And they started inserting those ballots. Now, I've seen some comments that, well, how do you know this? And how do you know that? How do you know what was in those suitcases? How do you know those were ballots? Even though it's on the camera, all you got to do is zoom in and you can see their ballots. And ballots aren't delivered in suitcases. I think we all know that. Video evidence of them doing that. And just to put a little sauce on all that, it was reported that they had stopped counting to the media. And it was also reported that the reason was there was a water main break, if you remember hearing that. The times exactly coincide with the time on the videos that were shown in the hearing in Georgia yesterday when the Democratic workers got the Republican workers out of there and began running in these tens or I don't know how many votes it was. That's when the election flipped. The totals flipped in Georgia. So we got them on video along with gobs of other stuff. Again, military intelligence testifying. They know how they use Dominion, when Dominion switched the votes. They actually have one machine that I know of so far, a Dominion machine, and they were able to demonstrate how and when it switched votes. And the good news is finally, the governor of Georgia, he grew a pair, and he now wants to do a complete audit of the vote in Georgia. Woo! So we're winning in Nevada, we're winning in Arizona, we're winning, it's practically a lock in Minnesota, Michigan. Michigan will end up in the Supreme Court, and Pennsylvania will end up in the Supreme Court. I think we'll win Georgia outright. But keep in mind, we don't have to win all of those. Right now, the president sits at 232. If Wisconsin is added in, that's 10, that's 242. If Arizona flips, that's 253. Is that right? Yeah. 253. Now all you need is Michigan, Pennsylvania, or Georgia, and bingo, it's over with. So I just wanted to give you a lot of good reasons to be happy, to be confident. Don't believe one word that you see in the media. Again, if you're getting your news on television, I promise you you're getting lied to. I promise you you're getting lied to. So I'm going to wrap this up tonight. To remember, and justice for all. Please share this, like it, subscribe. It's up to you to get your light, get this light, and get this truth out to other people. God bless you. God bless America. Peace. All right.